Sanjay already had the script, and then I was not his first choice. So he wanted Madhuri ji or Kajol. Okay. And I had said, listen, if these two don't do it, I'm going to do it. So you come to me, you don't go to anybody else. I'm not a person who likes to watch my movies or my jo ho gaya so ho gaya, and people have loved it. Thank you for that. Let's move on. I'm that kind of a person. I really missed when there was a break I had taken, and I was realizing how much I love being in front of camera. I love, emoting and working with good creative minds.
So I have this audio cassette I would love you to autograph.
You still have an audio cassette.
I had a chance, we were talking about to work with Mr. Vidhu Vinod Chopra closely, and he was always all praise for you. 1942 is, of course, a beautiful film. But for you, what have been the one or two roles that have been the most cathartic for you, that have really transformed you?
Basically, honestly speaking, for me, good films and a good role actually happened.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if it really changed me or what, but I could relate to it for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, like when Vinod Chopra's 942 happened, Ranjo's character was, I could really relate to it, And when Khamoshi happened, I could relate to Annie's character as well. I mean, so for me, my job as an actor is to really understand the spirit and the soul of the character. And luckily for me that I was working with some really good directors and good writers, who had carved such beautiful characters.
Which at that time to have films like this was very, very, very,
Yeah.
very, very.
Yeah. So Mani Ratnam's Bombay and Dilse and Mansoor Khan's
Or even Lajja later on.
Lajja. Yeah, I loved Raja. So what Lajja's whole film, the whole message was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think every time I see the climax, I still sort of, get
Yeah.
the goosebumps. You work with so many female actors. Lajja being an example. You work with Kajol and Gupta and Urmila in Hindustani.
Yeah.
What has that been like working? Because we always talk about rivalry and we hear things about rivalry, but is that all rumor?
I think right. It's one can take it in a healthy way, but one can't really deny it because we all are at the end of the day competitive, and we want to do better in our work, and so I guess it's part of that thing, and I think it's so human. I think it's always, and if you're passionate about your work, and somebody you're working with is excellent, you want to really do your best. So I don't see anything wrong in that. I think I think when you start hurting the other, or you start demeaning the other, or insulting the other, or you're playing games to hurt the other, then it's negative. But if you're in awe of somebody and you want to better yourself because that person also is good, I don't see any harm in that. Yeah.
There's something I've always wanted to ask you. We know how the world felt when they saw Ek Ladki Ko Dekha To Aisa Laga. How did you honestly feel when you saw yourself in that song? And do you still watch it today?
Sometimes.
Okay.
But I'm not a person who likes to watch my movies or my jo ho gaya so ho gaya, and people have loved it. Thank you for that. Let's move on. I'm that kind of a person. And sometimes I could relish it, and I see my family relishing it, and so I'll sit and join with them. I had a great team. Vinod Chopra and Vinod Pradhan, and then Farah. That she was Sanjay. And that time, Vinod's first wife, Renu Saluja, was also in our whole gang of people that we were close to. And so, I mean, the whole unit was so inspired and was so wanting to work together.
And that's where the seeds of Khamoshi were sown as well. Right?
Absolutely. I think Sanjay already had the script, I think. And towards the end of the movie, I had read the script. And then I was not his first choice. So he wanted Madhuri ji or Kajol. And I had said, listen, if these two don't do it, I'm going to do it. So you come to me, you don't go to anybody else. And luckily for me, and because he was a newcomer and he was a new director, so they didn't, and I had read the script and I got to do the movie. So
That's still regarded as one of his finest works.
I think so.
Despite all of the big budget films that came afterwards.
Yes. Yeah.
There was something about the budget.
Yes. So it was fun. It was fun working. Yeah.
As you said, you look at life with a new perspective now. But what's left? What is there that you're craving? Just, I have to get this done for.
Oh, there's, the thing is, as I don't have many plans.
Yeah.
I don't like to have many plans, but there are a few things that I would love to do, and among them is work with good directors and good cinema, because I love my work. I really missed when there was a break I had taken, and I was realizing how much I love being in front of camera. I love, emoting and working with good creative minds and creating something nice. I love hiking in I went to Everest Space Camp. So
And you were climbing the floors of your building to
yes,
get the practice, right?
yes.
Yeah.
I live on the 14th floor, and so I used to do, I think, 14th floor maybe 20 times, so I realized, I overtrained. I didn't really need to do that.
Excellent. Thank you so much for giving your time.
Pleasure.
I really appreciate it. It's been an honor. And I have one quick request for you. So I have this audio cassette. I would love you to autograph.
Okay. You still have an audio cassette?
It's I was debating. I said, should I bring this one or should I bring those? But I like this album better. So.
Okay. How do I, on top?
Yeah, you could just, sign on it.
I still haven't managed to see Maine Pyar Kiya in the theatre.
लता जी जिस फिल्म पे अपना हाथ ये रखती हैं वो सक्सेस हो जाती है.
While listening to the script, I started crying. Surajji got even more interested. I said, it's a lovely script and a lovely story, but I'm not really keen on doing films.